All right, everyone. I apologize for the reversion in setup, but I don't know exactly what the fuck is wrong with my audio setup. The Blue Yeti sometimes doesn't work well with Logitech, and it'll freeze around 3 or 4 minutes. This one, therefore, the only one that works, and I have to hold it like right up to my face for some odd reason at the moment to get any volume, or it could be the speakers on the computer having a problem, which they had an issue the other day. Regardless, we got to talk about accountability, because that's the new go-to catchphrase that the Democrats are using and their allies in the legacy media, and it's not organic. The fact that it's being promulgated by multiple groups in the same short period of time isn't just a function of the fact that it's an effective term, because it really doesn't make any sense at all. Basically, here's what happened. You have the Mueller probe. The Mueller Report comes out. After 2 years and $30 million, the central premise of the entire report turns out to have been complete horseshit. Now, this was predictable to anyone who sort of thought about it a little bit when they looked at the Steele dossier and realized, hey, Lisa Page is saying that there was literally nothing other than this dossier and it was just op research. Basically, a series of unfortunate events caused all attribution, which was partisan, to be stripped from the report. It was fed up through, got through the FISA court, got through Rosenstein, gets to Mueller, sparks a probe. Then they realize thereafter, I think, at least at the highest level, oh shit, we done goofed big time. Because now we've got this probe. We have no choice but to continue it, because everyone's already talking about the fact that this probe exists. So, we're going to cause a civil war if we suddenly stop it. People are going to think that Trump stymied the report. We got to kick the can down the road. And so it ends. No collusion found. And I'm telling you, after 2 years, $30 million, and carte blanche with as much manpower as you need, with the full backing of both houses of Congress, yes, the Mueller report was thorough and fair. There was never any collusion. That was a daydream. It was bullshit. Then the Democrats had a meltdown anyway, and they defaulted to obstruction. Barr comes out and says, well, we can't prove obstruction. What the fuck do you expect me to do? Making mean tweets. How am I supposed to indict a sitting president of all people for making a fucking tweet? That doesn't work. Then they default to his taxes. And it's looking like, of course, he's just going to stonewall, which is exactly, they're saying that he has a lack of accountability for that too, simply because he doesn't want to release material that's under current audit. Which any sane individual would think, yeah, Trump's got the right idea. His legal team told him that for a reason. They would be derelict in their duty if they had told him, yeah, it's okay. Go give testimony to Congress about something that's currently being audited. It sure won't cause the Trump Foundation, the Trump organization to get ripped apart by the IRS potentially. Yeah, it's entirely possible. The IRS wants everything 100% accounted for. Do you realize with the kind of income from so many sources as Trump has, needs a whole team of accountants and lawyers to go through it all just to comply with the IRS, especially when he's being perpetually audited for probably political reasons at this point. Maybe they should just drop the audit. You know what they should do, what Congress should say is, hey, can the IRS stop auditing him and drop that so that we can gain access to it? That would be a smart move by Schiff and others, but they don't want access to it. They just want it to look like Trump is guilty. The Schiff doesn't want Trump's tax returns. No, because he'll find out that Trump actually crossed all his T's, dotted all his I's, probably paid more than he owed because he's very careful. He's a cautious individual. People who think that people who believe the bluster and they believe the big man Trump whirling around up on stage sort of act, that's just, dude, he's a fucking showman. He has been all his life. Behind closed doors, I guarantee he's a totally different person in many, many ways, which is what a lot of people just don't fucking get and never will. That's some crazy shit. So then, their new line, especially among the legacy medias, Trump lacks accountability. Oh my God, the checks and balances of the United States are under threat. Now, it's funny because until a few months ago, basically, when the Mueller probe was obviously ending, it was that he was a threat to our democracy, which is, not true anyway. He was a threat to our country because of Russian collusion. Then he was a threat because of mean tweets, and now he's a threat because he doesn't want to be held accountable. Accountable for what? He doesn't have any accountability to release this financial material. There's no specific law saying that he has to cough up a bunch of tax returns. That's just sort of a thing that politicians have done throughout time. Trump, I think, likes to be a little bit more private in certain business endeavors than you would think. Yeah, there's the public image. There's like the apprentice sort of stuff and pageantry and shit. But I think there's a part of him that just wants to be left alone at times. Just because a person likes the limelight doesn't mean they want fucking everything that they do to be public material. And by the way, why should it be? Why do I care about Trump's taxes? Can I please ask these people a question? In what realm of reality do I give a fuck specifically how much he made and what tax rate he paid? No, I care about my taxes, and he happens to have dropped that rate substantially. It'll be even lower the next time I file because there'll be no mandate. That's going to be wonderful, by the way. That extra several $1,000s, I can invest in other stuff. I can do other things with it. By the way, the government would just use it to bomb people anyway. If you think that it's actually being used to subsidize poor people's healthcare, you're fucking crazy. Yeah, bullshit. These people are full of bullshit. If Obamacare weren't an abomination, then they would have passed it in the middle of the night with thousands of pages of filler that nobody got a chance to read. They would have proudly paraded it before the American people in compact form and said, this is what we're going to do, and it'll be glorious, and lower your costs, and it'll be great, and you can keep your doctor, and bullshit like that. But that never happened, now did it? Instead, the Obamacare rollout was one of the greatest disasters in optics history. It was pretty funny. He's not accountable. He's being, he gets probed for 2 years, carte blanche from Mueller. He's got the House breathing down his neck now. He had Senate Judiciary breathing down his neck, probing the same shit Mueller did. No, he's not accountable at all. Anything he says gets torn apart completely by the legacy media within 10 minutes. He's got people that camp on his Twitter page just to try to grab first tweet, and it's almost invariably somebody saying something negative. No, he's not accountable at all. No, he's just a total threat to the Republic. No, I think the threat to our Republic is constant obstruction. And it's very funny in the wake of Benghazi. This is Benghazi 2.0, and this time it actually got investigated fairly, and you didn't get any evidence, and you still want to go further. It's crazy talk. It's basically like what Boehner did anyway, though. And it's going to have the same end result. The Democrats are going to, it's going to blow up in their face. He's not going to get indicted. He didn't cheat on his taxes. I fully believe that. He certainly didn't collude because they would have found evidence of it. He didn't obstruct anything. There's no meaningful way in which you can construe any of these things as happening. By the way, if you don't have evidence or any reasonable suspicion, any probable cause, why should something be investigated? Is Trump not as well an American? What, is the president or not? It's very funny that people in the House think, well, we should just perpetually investigate his taxes on a whim. We don't have any reason to believe he cheated on his taxes. We don't have any evidence. There's no probe in a criminal manner that suggests that anything has happened. There's no evidence of it, but we're going to investigate anyway. I just think that that's a waste of taxpayers' time. We have to pay these morons to sit there and ask the same stupid questions over and over again. It's basically pissing me off, and I think a growing majority of Americans are pissed off at it too. That's about all. Peace out.